Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop. On today's episode, I'll be discussing the top 10 figures I am anticipating from Storm Collectibles. Before doing so, I'll be following some rules. Rule number 1, I cannot choose any characters that have been teased or revealed. For example, the DC's Lobo and Darkseid, which has been shown at several Comic-Cons. However, we do not have an official release date on those characters. I cannot pick them for this video. Rule number 2, it must be a license that Storm Collectible already has. For example, I thought that Storm Collectibles had the Soul Calibur license. However, I did some digging and I was unable to confirm that. So without further ado, let's take a look at some of the licenses that Storm Collectible currently has. So starting off with their movie licenses, they currently have Rigor Mortis, Ong-Bak, and Fist of the North Star. Moving on to their human character licenses, they currently have Bruce Lee, Dennis Rodman, Hulkamania, Mike Tyson, and Muhammad Ali. So moving on to the licenses that most people are perhaps more excited about, we'll talk about their video game licenses. And to start off on that list, Gears of War and Gears of War 5, Fist of the North Star. If you notice that I mentioned this before, I'm unsure if they're doing Fist of the North Star characters based on the movie or action figure game. So for safekeeping, I just placed it in both places. Injustice Gods Among Us and Injustice 2, King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match, Samurai Showdown Special, Golden Axe, Darkstalkers, X-Layer, Mortal Kombat. They currently have licenses for Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat 2, and Mortal Kombat 3. I am not sure if they have license for the entire Mortal Kombat series. Street Fighter 5 and Ultra Street Fighter 2, the new challengers, Tekken 7, and last but not least, World Heroes Perfect. Just in case you forgot some of these licenses or simply are not familiar with them, here's a quick video about the following licenses.
Round 1, fight!
2. Decide the destiny.
From the fiery depths of apocalypse.
Noted for classification.
He's a me! Don't do it! Not yet, you won't! Right now! Try to use this power!
So in my digging, I've come to find out not only does Storm Collectible holds the licenses for such titles such as Mortal Kombat and Injustice, they actually have a partnership with Warner Brothers Game Division. What does that mean? It means the absolute possibility for them to open the floodgates and provide us with many characters from many different titles, such as The Witcher, DC Universe Online, DC Universe versus Mortal Kombat, and the list goes on, such as Batman Arkham City, Origins, and so on. So I'm really hoping that Storm Collectibles digs deep with this partnership with Warner Brothers Games. I would love to have a complete Justice League cast. So come on, Storm Collectible. So without further ado, let's get on to my list. I'm going to start my way from 10, working my way to number 1, and I'll be sure to throw in a few honorable mentions. So I don't know why I assumed that this would be easy. As I started to think about characters, I could pick 10 characters from Injustice alone, Mortal Kombat, or Street Fighter. So now looking at all of these games and having to draw 10 characters was too difficult for me to do, so I cheated. I also have 10 honorable mentions. This was the only way that I can make sense of this. So let's get started. So for my first honorable mention, it would be the Locust from Gears of War. Though there were many subspecies of the Locust, I would probably go with the drones first. Marcus and Cole, they need an enemy to kill. And I was very surprised that Storm Collectible didn't introduce the Locust first. This has been a company that's used to giving us villains before superheroes. So in at number 10, Joe Higashi from King of Fighters. When Storm Collectibles showed Terry Bogard at San Diego Comic-Con, I knew that I had to have Joe to go along with him. It's also another kickboxer in my collection, someone else other than Ryo that can sit and fight along with Sagat. So my next honorable mention would be Dimitri from Darkstalkers. To have a vampire in a lineup, I think would be pretty cool. My ninth pick would be Morrigan from Darkstalkers. Female vampire, super powerful. Why wouldn't I want another female character in my lineup? So the next of my honorable mentions would be Mai from King of Fighters 98. I really want to add some more female characters to my Storm Collectibles lineup. Currently I have Chun-Li and that's it. So she would fit very nicely in my collection. Number 8 on my list is none other than Andy Bogard from King of Fighters 98. Can't have one brother without the other. And when I saw Terry, I knew that I had to have Andy as well as Joe to go with him. I'm a big Fatal Fury fan, and I need these three guys. So the next of my honorable mention would be Hanzo and Galford from Samurai Showdown. I know you're griping that I picked two. I look at it as they're both ninjas. costumes are kind of similar. The reason that these weren't picks, I feel that with Storm Collectibles, we have enough ninjas at the moment. So even though I want to add them to my lineup, I would love to see more Samurai Showdown characters before seeing these two. Which brings me to my number 7 pick, and that's Yukio from Samurai Showdown. I always liked his look, the blue hair, and him having that illness just really made me fond of the character. Plus something that's very different from what we've seen from Storm Collectible, that samurai look. I would love to have him to my collection.
Do you know who I am?
So my next honorable mention would be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Injustice 2. Man, it looked great in that game, and I know that Storm Collectibles will absolutely slay those characters. The reason that they only made it in as an honorable mention is because NECA is doing one hell of a job with their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles lineup, and at the moment, I don't need a different company creating the Turtles. Jumping into number 6, I'm going to stick with Samurai Showdown, and we're going to pick Honourable. I just really like the look of this character, perhaps the main antagonist of the game, and I really dig that samurai look, and I know he would look great in my Storm Collectibles collection. Next honorable mention would be Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat. It's about time that Storm Collectibles start to give us some good guys from Mortal Kombat. We have a lot of villains, and I'm not complaining about it, but I would like to have some characters to face my villains off against. So I'm going to stay with Mortal Kombat for my number 5 pick, and we're going to pick Raiden. I was very surprised that Raiden was not one of the first characters that we received. However, Storm Collectible decided to go with the ninjas, which made sense, being that they can pump out the same mold, just throw some new colors, and that can help them move to the next character. So Raiden is definitely missing in this lineup. So for my next honorable mention, I will be choosing martial law. Until Storm Collectible officially gives us a 6-inch or 7-inch scale Bruce Lee figure, martial law will be the next best thing to that. And now coming in at my number 4 selection, I'm going to stick with the Tekken franchise, and I'm going to pick Devil Jin. Why did I choose Devil Jin versus regular Jin? Well, because he's a devil. I always thought that that design was just so dope. And to think that we'll be closer to, or one step closer to, being able to complete the Mishima clan. So for my next honorable mention, I'm going to jump to Street Fighter, and we're going to pick E Honda. I really want to finish that core group of characters in Street Fighter 2, and at the moment, E Honda is one of those who are missing. So moving to number 3 on my list, I'm going to jump back to Mortal Kombat, and I'm going to jump to Liu Kang. We need some good guys, Storm Collectibles. And what other good guy than Liu Kang would you want to have in your Storm Collectibles Mortal Kombat collection? For my next honorable mention, I'm going to go back to Street Fighter, and we're going to pick Dazlum. And again, it's about finishing up that core lineup. I think Storm Collectibles would do an amazing job on Dazlum. And the only reason that Dazlum is an honorable mention and he's not my number 2 pick is because for my number 2 pick, I had to choose Street Fighter's Blanka. It's Blanka, man. We're going to have a beast, and it's going to be a hell of a figure. And I really feel that Storm Collectibles is going to release Blanka at some point mid-2020. So moving to my last honorable mention, and this would be from Tekken, and I'm very shocked that I actually didn't choose this character to be one of my main picks. So it's Paul from Tekken, the character that I play with the most of the time, the character that I was the best with in the game, and we need a Paul in our collection. And the only reason that I didn't choose Paul was very hard. Some great characters from other games that I had to pick. But my number one slot goes to none other than Street Fighter's Vega. When I saw SH Figuarts release their Vega for their Street Fighter line, I got so hyped. I got so pumped. Not for that, because I don't collect the SH Figuarts Street Fighter figures. But I got so pumped knowing that it was just the amount of time before Storm Collectibles put out their Vega. And again, this will help me close that core line of Street Fighter characters. So I want to thank you for sticking around for what turned out to be a much longer video than I think. I'll probably do another video based on Storm Collectibles licenses that they don't have and 10 characters that I would like to see from those licenses. So thank you for sticking around for Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop, and I hope to see you during the next video.